Welcome to Sinclair Tractor's Integrated Solutions training videos. In this video, I'm going to cover the setup wizard that is applicable to either the GS2 or the GS3 display. In order to get there, we're going to go to our main menu button in the bottom right corner, go to the GS2 or GS3 button on the display, go to the GS2 or GS3 button once more in the top right corner, and finally go to the Setup tab in the top left. It's going to ask you which settings you want to change. So all you need to do is select the highest level of setup that you want to perform. So let's say we want to go all the way through guidance. So if we put a check in that box, it'll ask us if we want resources with it. Normally for planting or harvest you will, so hit yes. And then it will pre-populate the boxes above that are required as a minimum for the guidance. And then usually you're going to be documenting as well, so go ahead and put a check in that box. Once you have the attributes chosen that you want to use, we're going to hit the accept button at the bottom. You'll notice that it has an asterisk that says indicates a required field. I will show you here in a moment what that is referencing. So we hit accept, and it'll take us to our first setup screen. You'll notice we have page 1 out of 7, so we're going to have 7 setup screens with our toggle forward and toggle back buttons. It shows us that it's resources. It shows us a pictogram of the actual button in the display it's using, and then our attributes. Now you'll notice those asterisks that I referred to. So the items we have to have populated for our resources are the client, farm, field, and task. Those have to be filled out. So make sure that you have the information in each of those that you want. It's a good idea to make sure your crop season is correct. And if you want to put in the operator name, you can. That is optional. Once those are selected, go to the next screen. That will take us to the machine offset setup. Again, our required items are the machine type, the name, our connection type, our offset setup, and our recording source. For more details on this screen, refer to our machine offsets video. Once those are set, go to the next page. Now it'll do the same thing with the implement. Again, required things are our type, our name, and our offsets, and our widths need to be set up correctly. Go to the next page. Now it's going to ask us to set up documentation. Again, we can set up the documentation. We require an operation and we need a product. Again, for further details on this, refer to the video on documentation. Then it will take us to our guidance setup. It's going to ask us for the type of tracking mode that we want to run. Go to the next page. It takes us to our shift setup. Normally you're going to use small shifts, and I would recommend under most conditions a 3 or 4 inch shift. If you make this too small, you won't be able to tell that it's actually made a correction, and you'll ideally are going to make too much of a correction trying to chase it. If you put too big of a number, obviously you reduce the accuracy of keeping things finite for you. And this show shift track totals on the map. That way it'll show how much you've shifted on the guidance map. We go to our final page, and this is where it will actually let us set our track. And again, for the procedure on this, refer to one of our guidance setup videos. Once you're all done, you do want to go ahead and hit the enter or accept button. It's going to bring up kind of a warning screen. It's going to say that the setup is complete, but it's going to also let you know that if you didn't put all of the required fields in the way that they needed to be, that some of the recording or the setup may not work the way you intend. Go ahead and accept that. It will take you back to the setup screen. You do not need to put checks back in the box again. Once you come to here, then you can go to wherever you want in the display to go ahead and run operation. And that is how you use the setup wizard.